Just like organizations out there get intelligence from other, let's call it terror organizations, they could stop certain attacks before they happen. That's exactly how TLS works. Now, just like other organizations out there, do they succeed every time they try? The answer is no. They do their best. Sometimes they succeed and sometimes they fail. Now let's talk about fear. Is any of this intended to induce fear? Maybe from their part, sure. With the work that I do, my intention is to raise one thing, and that is not fear. It's awareness. You see, if we knew about these things before they happened, if we knew about these things and why they're really happening, nobody would be able to deceive us anymore. Nobody would be able to lie to us anymore. It would become very obvious and apparent what is truly going on around the world. Now, let me give you a little insight. The only way that certain individuals can control the world and manifest their agendas is through our lack of awareness. Through our lack of awareness, they could take advantage of what we don't know and make us think that something is something else. But through our awareness, that's the greatest weapon we have. It's the greatest threat to them. That's why they censor things. That's why they stop knowledge and information from going out to the public. Because if humanity was aware of the truth, humanity would come together and unite. And if humanity was united, and it's no coincidence that the word unity is literally within the word humanity. You take out the H, M, and A, you are left with unity. If humanity was united in the way that we are intended to be, we can no longer be controlled. So how do we stop them? The golden question. It's not going to happen overnight. That's the tough answer. But it will happen over time if we take certain actions. And those actions have everything to do with awareness. Let me give you a perfect example while speaking in code for obvious reasons. Over the past 3 or 4 years, starting in 2020, we saw something really interesting. People were lining up for certain interventions with their bodies. You see, if we were aware of the truth back then on the collective level, that agenda would have never been able to come to fruition. I ask you all that are watching this right now, don't comment what I'm talking about, because if you comment what I'm talking about, it will pick that up. Don't talk about that word. Don't comment that word. You all know what I'm talking about here. If we were aware of what was going on, we would have never stepped into that reality. Now, some people say, and it's a very valid question, when understanding how manifestation works, do you feel that by raising awareness, you could potentially lead to manifesting realities? That's a very valid point, and that's also a very surface way of understanding manifestations. Because if you understand how manifestation works from the base of it all, it's not black and white. It's not just what you focus on is what will manifest. Yes, that is a rule, that is a law, and that is the surface understanding. But in this case, and I just proved it to you with what's been happening over the past 4 years, if everybody knew about it beforehand, there is a plan that is in place. That plan is happening. How do we shift timelines? Not by not thinking about that plan, but by becoming aware of the plan in order to dissolve the way that that reality was set forth to manifest in the first place. It's a much deeper way of thinking, but it's the truth. It's how it works. So when I speak about these things, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, rewatch this. When I speak about these things, I speak about them with that awareness, with that understanding. Let me give that example one more time for anybody where that went right over your head. The plan of what's been happening over the past 4 years, it was not just by chance. There was a plan in place. That plan was going to happen. How do we stop that plan from happening? Well, in some cases, you can't stop certain things from happening, but you can change the way that we react to it. And the reason why that's important is because part of the plan has to do with something called PRS, problem, reaction, solution. The problem is the problem that's been created. It's a plan, it's an agenda, it's very clear. But it's contingent on our reaction in order for them to bring the solution. That's our knight in shining armor that's going to save us. That's how we, the people, come into and play into this formula. They need our proper reaction in order to bring their intended solution. And the only way to make sure that we don't react in the way that they want us to react is by making people aware of the problem that they made happen in the first place. Do you understand how important what I am speaking of is talking? What I am speaking about is, I'll say that one more time. Do you understand how important what I am speaking about is? When you put it into perspective in that way, it makes a lot of sense, because that is how manifestation works. I see a lot of people come against me, even in our own community. They say, Jason is fear, he's fear mongering. I'm not fear mongering. I'm letting you know about the problem that they have created that is coming your way, whether you like it or not, hoping that when people are aware of that problem, their reaction will change. If the reaction changes, the solution cannot manifest. And that, my friends, is how you stop a timeline. That is how you shift a reality. That's how it works. It's very simple. I don't understand why certain people in the community don't get that. They're still very surface, but this is how it works, and I just explained it to you. So again, what do we do about it? What we do about it is not just speak about it, because if you only speak about it without the proper awareness, you'll allow the powers that be to implement their solution. But if you speak about it with the intention, the awareness of foiling the plan to change the reaction, they will not be able to bring forth what they intended to bring forth. So I'll say it again. What you are seeing right now around the world is not what they are telling us it is. I'm speaking vaguely on purpose. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The very fact that I was told about earthquakes back in 2020, before they happened, and I shared them, and then they happened. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a psychic. Ray is not a prophet. He says that all the time. He's not guessing. He's not tapping into probabilities. He's telling you what is happening because of a plan that is going to happen on either side, no matter what the intentions are. What has been happening over the past 4 years? It didn't happen by chance. It didn't happen naturally. It happened with very direct and clear intention. And it was, once again, our lack of awareness that caused us to not be able to see through what was actually going on. So people are asking for solutions. I said them twice, and I'll say them again. Beyond going and speaking to your senator and your mayor and your this and your that and putting pressure, I'm talking about the spiritual perspective. If you want a solution from the root where it counts, the solution has everything to do with sharing videos like this. Because through awareness, our reaction will change. If our reaction changes, the solution cannot be implemented. The solution, meaning the thing that they want us to think is a solution, which is really something that takes all of our power away. Other people ask, are we protected? Believe me, if there weren't people working behind the scenes to stop certain things, we would be in a much worse place right now. Does that mean that there are saviors? Absolutely not. There is no Messiah outside of you. The Messiah, you call it Moses, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. Call it whatever you want. It is a new state of consciousness. That is the answer. That is the solution. I will say it every day for the rest of my life. Because although people are getting it, not enough people do. Awareness is the solution. You take this and you share this video with anybody that thinks you're crazy. I want to see what their response is going to be. Very curious to see what their response is going to be. I just showed you. They are telling you that these things are happening. They are telling you that they are modifying the weather. They are only calling it solar geoengineering for climate change. But the principle is the fact that what we are saying is true. They are changing the weather. It's been shown. Over 100 patents since the 1800s on weather modification. Operation Popeye, declassified weather modification. The Chinese Olympics, declassified weather modification. Go to Dubai, declassified weather modification. They call it cloud seeding. Look into cloud seeding. If you don't know what cloud seeding is, let's look it up together. It's very simple. It's right before our eyes, and people aren't seeing it. So, cloud seeding is something